Hey, what's going on, people? Let me read something to you. And I believe this person was well intentioned, and I'm going to address it from that standpoint. But I'm going to explore some things with you. So hold on a second. Let me read it for you. There are many people now homeless because of loss of jobs, often though no fault of their own. They often get in such despair that they can't see a way out, and it takes money to make money. Have you considered taking one of these homeless families with children and mentoring the parents? Take them out, teach them how to do it, and do it for free. Pay for the purchases, show them how to sell, get your money back plus 10% as soon as the merchandise sells, and they keep the rest if it's profits. Repeat several times until they have the money to do it on their own. You would be paying it forward to the family, the community, and God. Just a thought. Love your videos. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to blast the person because I think this person is coming from a position of compassion. And there's a misunderstanding of what I do. Because, number one, if you go to Glendon 007, which is this channel, and go to videos and go from 2009 up to 2013, and if you watch all of those videos, take notes and actually take action and go out and do the things that I talk about, you will make money for free. There's 125 hours of free content on this channel. Many people have taken advantage of that information. There are folks who have launched new careers based on the information on this channel. So let me address that. When people are looking for the spoon, they often miss the cream. A lot of folks want to be spoon fed. Now, I used to do exactly what was put in that email that I got. I've done it several times. And over the years, I've learned something. There are people who will do and there are people who will not do. Doesn't matter if the information is presented to them. Doesn't matter if someone holds their hand. Does not matter. Because as long as the person who has the problem or situation doesn't take it as serious as they need to, that problem will persist. Oprah Winfrey, one of the biggest, most giving people in the universe, has set up schools, and she's done a lot for a lot of people. And some of her earlier charitable works didn't work out because she built the school. I mean, all the people had to do was show up, and it didn't work out. And that was very illuminating to me because I've witnessed similar things in my life on a much smaller scale. Because, she continues to give, she continues to put things out there. But where I'm at in my life is I help people who are running. If you're sitting still, I'm not really interested in you. Because, hold on, because that's going to ding. It will ding every second on the second. That's emails. All right, let's turn that off. I see people who are taking action, and then I will jump in. Because, see, the thing is, I'm running, and they're running, and we see each other. If you are sitting on the stoop, I have no love for you. And it's not a hate or disrespect. It's just I know their mindset. To get out of a hole. Now, I'm going to give you, those who are long-time subscribers already know this story. And there are many new people, so I'm going to have to tell it to the point that the folks who've been here for a while are going to get sick of me talking about it. But I keep getting the same questions because there's more and more people coming to the channel. I was homeless. I was poor. It wasn't the fact that I was homeless or poor that kept me in bad situations. It was my mindset. Once I changed my mindset, my life completely changed. I was in a situation, homeless temporarily, due to bad decisions. Yes, I got laid off. Sure, I got laid off, lost my job, but that's not why I was homeless. I was homeless because I failed to prepare for a bad situation. It's a personal accountability situation. Like right now, I have what's called the emergency plan. If shit goes south, I got a plan because I'm not going to be homeless. I'm there's a plan A, there's a plan B, there's a plan C because anything can happen. But I didn't think like that because I had communist, socialist entitlement mentality. I'm going to address a few things in your email. And understand, I'm not going to say anything disparaging about you because, like I said, I think you're coming from a very good place. I think you're coming from a good place in your heart. But the deal is, I don't believe in karma. I believe in cause and effect. You can have a very bad thing happen and a beautiful effect can happen, and then you can have good intentions go forward and disaster ensues. So, those who believe in karma, that, if someone does something bad and something bad is going to happen to them. I do believe when you set a certain thing in motion, there's going to be repercussions, but not necessarily bad. I've just seen too many people do crazy shit and nothing happens. And I'm with George Carlin on the big entity in the sky who's like, hey, someone did something to you, and at some point you don't know about it, but understand, they're going to get theirs. I am not a subscriber to that theory. There's people who've done shit to me, and straight up, I am a member of Team Redemption, and I got their asses back, or I scared the shit out of them that they left me the fuck alone. Because I learned. And I'll tell you another little story. I was a nerd in high school. One day I was at my locker. And, when you're a nerd, and I have a speech impediment, and I was a special ed, and shy and awkward and just stupid, people teased me mercilessly. And it just went on and went on for years. Then, because I never really fought back, I did that thing where you just ignore people. Well, one day I was at my locker, back turned, and this person who remained nameless, just call him B, kicked me. I was at my locker, didn't see him coming, not said word one to him. He kicked me. Well, something in me said, if you don't handle this, you're going to get your ass literally kicked every day. And this was around the time frame that I had discovered bodybuilding and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I had fashioned my home gym in the front yard. I had a tree with a drive shaft to do pull-ups and buckets with cement for weights. So I was really strong, but something that I didn't know and B didn't know was I was really fast. My fastest 40 time was 4.8. So he took off and I was on it. And if you've ever played sports, you run faster game time than you do track time. You run faster during competition. And this was primal competition because he had impugned my character and it was on. So we hit the hallway. He hits the corner. He didn't corner too well. I cornered perfectly. And before he got to the band section, I caught him. And what I did was I picked him up and did a slew flex. Up, over, boom. Just fucking him up. Just like if you remember the Christmas story with dudes just cussing and kicking his ass, that was me. Because he caught all of that rage, all of that resentment from people teasing me. Well, long story short, I broke his collarbone. Violently. Now, Miss Hawthorne, who was a teacher, she saw the whole thing. And she was running down the hall because she knew shit was going to go sideways. And he's on the ground like this, moaning and shit. His shoulders all jacked up. And you would think that bad things would happen. My mother was pissed. We had the conversation. Now, this is the weird thing. He got suspended and I didn't. Think about that. He got suspended and I didn't. And I also learned that, you just can't keep ignoring shit because people take that as a weakness. So understand, that's why I'm not a member of the karma team and I don't believe in that stuff. And I do believe in redemption. Now, you have to pick and choose your battles. You can't fight everything. That's stupid. Now, another thing in your email, it takes money to make money. That is incorrect. There are some businesses you must have capital to start. It is 2013. There is a multitude of businesses that you can start with nothing but sweat equity. Conundrum Publishing, my first business after the storage auction business, was started with $285 and maybe a grand total of $5,000, which is nothing to start a business. And that's after the business was making money. But my initial investment, and I did not have to add any more outside money to it, was $285. $285. So it is totally 100% untrue that you need money to make money. You need an ideal, you need action, you need consistency. Right now, and I'm gonna give you an example of something that you could do to make money. You can learn a new skill. You can go to an employer and say, look, I'll work for free. and they'll be shocked. And you go in there and you work harder than you ever worked for, because see, the thing is, you're going in there to get skill sets. And as you build yourself up and you build your skill sets up, you can actually get paid for that later. And that's one of the problems with people is delayed gratification is like a curse or almost like a chronic disease, and they can't do it. I'm able to charge people for stuff that I learned since 2009 because I dedicated myself to it. I didn't pay any money to learn these skills. I just worked my ass off. So you can make a living wage, and the living wage is defined, just for the conversation, between 35 and 60 grand from stuff that you can learn right here on YouTube. If you want to ball out, you can turn that to six figures from the stuff you can learn right here on YouTube. But it takes an attention span. I did a video called "If You Want to Increase Your Income and Increase Your Attention Span," because most people are like, I don't have time for all that. I don't want to hear the stories. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. Just give it to me. Those people are missing a very large point, and they're missing a lot of information. But anyone can choose to be what they want to be. Now, let's talk about the mindset of people who are at death's door in dire situations. I was living in a boarding house with freaking crackheads. I think that's pretty dire. You know what I did? I actually had a freaking computer. I sacrificed and spent money on things that other people thought was foolish. I had a IBM computer, laser printer 17. That sucker was tricked out. It was like $3,800. It was a huge expenditure. I got that before I got a vehicle. By getting that computer and becoming very comfortable with the internet, it gave me the foundation for making money online. I have been making money online in some form or fashion since 2000. If I had not spent the money on that computer and going through that, and this is when you had to clear off your hard drive every year because that sucker would crash or you would lose stuff. It was just, people have it easy now compared to when computers came out because they were more expensive and they were less reliable. So I went through that. And I spent money on Earl Nightingale's Lead the Field. Because the thing is, we all have choices, and we all only have 24 hours in a day. This guy's not getting 36 hours in his day, and this chick's not getting 100 hours in her day. We all have 24 hours. We all have a 7-day week. We all have a 365-day year. The difference between people who are successful is they choose to do wise things with the time they have. People who are not successful tend to bullshit and blow off and fuck off and engage in emotional masturbation with their free time. You must fill your mind with what you want your life to be versus focusing and being preoccupied with what you don't have. And like I said, I'm not trying to rub on you, but I'm sick and tired of people who don't have shit telling me that I should give shit to people who don't have shit. I was a person who didn't have shit. When I reached the point of pain, the pain was so much that I had to change, I made the change. So what I'm telling you is those people who are homeless, those people who lost their jobs, they have options. And these are some of the options. And they're not brilliant and they're not over the top. If you are an adult person and you lost your job, you may have to fucking suck it up and move back home with mom. And when you move home with mom, you're no longer an adult. You're going to have to abide by her rules because it's her fucking house. But you put yourself in that position. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to move back home with mom and still have the accoutrements and freedoms of a fully self-actualized adult when you're not. You exactly have put yourself in the position of a child and you will be treated as such. Go through it. Deal with it because it will make you a better person. Because when you fuck up massively, unless you just really are hard-headed, you learn your lesson and you don't repeat those same dumb mistakes. And a lot of people who are supported or someone saves them or Captain Save-A-Ho comes into the life and saves the day, these people, from where I sit, and I've noticed in my life, they continue to repeat the same dumb-ass mistakes over and over and over because they never had to be accountable. I was put in a position where I had to be very, very accountable. I was put in a position where I had to look deep in the mirror and say, dude, you are fucking up. The way that you think is fucked up. The way that you execute is fucked up. Now, as long as it's someone else's fault or it's this corporation or it's America or you put yourself in the position and you put yourself in the position of a victim and you will be treated as a victim consistently. People will take advantage of you. On this channel, I have witnessed the growth of several people that came onto YouTube after me. And what's the difference between those who are asking for handouts and those who are coming up? They took action, and they took consistent action. They made mistakes, but they kept at it, and they kept at it, and they kept at it, and they kept at it. I will tell you, my first 5 businesses were turkeys. I failed. And then in Facebook groups, when I talk about that, people are like, well, you're different. And it's really funny. When I talk about failing and overcoming it, I'm different. But when I talk about being successful because I failed and I kept trying, then I'm arrogant. It's really funny because it's the same coin. It's just people don't want to deal with the fact that you don't have the things in life that you want. You don't have the relationships you want in life. It's because you're fucking up. You don't want, people, it's like it's always someone else's fault. It's not. If you go to 6 different cities and you have the same type of relationships, personal outcomes, it's your janky ass. It's not the world. It's you. And I understood that about myself, and I started working on it. I still have some fucked up ways. I know that about myself, but I work on it. I go out and I meet people, and I sit back, and one of the ways of dealing with stuff like, 2 years ago, if I had gotten that message, I would have blazed that person. Just totally blazed them, called them stupid. And the thing is, this person is not stupid, but I would say that this person is misguided, because a person that has not developed that burning desire to change their circumstances can have all the money in the world, the best resources in the world, all the help in the world, and they will still be in their same situation because mentally they have not moved forward. You mentally move forward before you physically move forward. You mentally see things before they become physical manifestations in your life. And most people don't want to work on that inner world. They think that if someone gives me money or someone helps me out, that's going to help the problem. That is putting a Band-Aid on a wound that needs deeper treatment, because you're going to need to hit it internally. You're going to have to take some antibiotics to cure that bacteria to solve and heal up the infection. But just putting a Band-Aid on an infection without any internal antibiotics, it's a nice gesture. It's compassionate. It's a warm and fuzzy feeling, but it doesn't solve the problem. Because one of the things I've learned as a business owner is people pay for results. They don't pay for compassion. They don't pay for being a good person. And that's one of the reasons that I am considered an asshole in the YouTube community, because I say things that people don't want to hear. And I'll give you an example. Someone had recently put up a video about me, and it was just like, I didn't even watch it. I heard about it and other people told me about it. And I saw a comment from someone that said I was self-aggrandizing, blah, 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 and that they unsubscribed from me. Well, recently that person has resubbed, and I have proof. Now, this has happened several times, because you may not like me. You may not like some of the things I say. But in terms of putting out raw, pure, unique, and different content from any other YouTuber, you can't get the shit anywhere else that you get here in the G-verse. And your janky ass know it. And you can unsubscribe, because I know you'll still be watching, because when you watch a lot of YouTubers' videos, it pops up in your feed. So you're still going to get the G-verse. So just letting you know, I thought that was patently funny. And you know who you are. And no, I'm not going to put it up in the video, and I'm not going to call anyone out, because in the grand scheme of things, it's immaterial. I just made a point to show you that even people who don't like me can't stay away from me, because I give good shit. Now, back to the point of paying it forward. It's a beautiful notion. And for some people, it works. But I have chosen, just like people choose to watch this channel or not watch this channel, because it's your personal choice. My personal choice is I help people who are in motion. If you are sitting on your ass and you ask me like 80 million questions and you're not out there hustling, I'm going to hit the egg button on you every time, because you will suck up one of the most important resources I have, which is time. And you're not doing shit. If you are not motivated enough to get off your ass and take control of your life, why the fuck should I care about you? Seriously, why? If you don't care about you, why should I care about you? I don't. And it's not like you're a bad person or I would piss on you or shit on you. It's just you haven't reached a point where your life is worthy of action. So why should I come in and try to pay it forward? To me, that notion is ridiculous. And, at some point I may change that stance. But right now, based on my experiences, however myopic they may be, the people that have done the best for my products are the ones who've paid, or the ones, and this is something else. Once again, I am not saying this to say I'm a good fella, but there are people I've given scholarships to the hustler mindset, and they can't tell anybody. They can't go like, there's people I've given scholarships because they were in action. They were doing shit. See, this is how I work. If you are a worthy lad or a worthy lass, I'll reach out to you if I see it. People that I've showcased on my channel, like Ann. Ann's been on eBay like 10, 15 years. These are people who are in action. I'm not looking to help someone who is static, because as my business evolved, and this is one of the things that I love to see people become successful. And based on the fact that I used to be a scrub, based on the fact that I used to have a very piss poor mindset, I recognize it when I see it in others. Anyone that goes to a grown man or a grown woman and is begging for help is a punk, in my opinion, is a total whack-ass, whiny little bitch punk. Because if you understand universal law, you can create a situation where that person comes to you on an even playing field. You don't have to ask. That statement, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up, has been so true in my life. When I have upped my energy and upped my game, people that can help me have just popped out of nowhere. Crazy, just weird stuff like, I needed you and here you are immediately, because I'm in motion. Energy begets energy. If you are sitting down and you're not active, your energy level is low. Low energy doesn't attract shit. Raise your energy level, raise your activity level, put as much stuff out there. Don't be afraid to fail. Get over that. I have looked like a total jackass at times here on YouTube. I have done so many things wrong. And, let's talk about it. Hold on. Self-aggrandizing moment here. I make a living from speaking and writing. I am dyslexic and I have a speech impediment. Marinate on that shit. Marinate on that shit. There are those of you who have no such limitations or afflictions who can't do this shit. And it's not because you don't have the talent. It's not because you're not worthy. It's because you refuse to get off your fucking ass and work. The reason that I am here is because I work. I work a lot. Family's like, hey, calm down. Slow it up a little bit. Remember, you don't want to go back to the hospital. And I say, you're right. So I need to take a day off here and there. But the reason with a speech impediment, that's the reason there's typos and, those people, Glendon has some misspellings. Yeah, misspellings. Sure, it's going to happen. Probably going to happen again. But Glendon has 14 books out. And in any nation, in any country, in any world, that's a hell of a fucking accomplishment. And I did it in 3 years and 3 years and 11 months. There are people who won't do one book in a lifetime because it's not a talent issue. It's a consistency and commitment issue. People are flaky. That's another reason I charge out the ass for my products, because I don't want flaky people. I get excited when I see someone in one of my courses who is doing it, who is like, look, I did this, I took the advice, and like, wow, this happened. And when I get the emails and I see their excitement, that makes me excitement. You don't get excitement from low fucking energy people, because they're not excited about shit. They're waiting for shit to happen. And this is something I had to learn, because when I was a scrub, I used to wait for shit to happen. I had to learn that you have to make it happen. You have to start doing stuff. There are projects I started working on like 2 years ago that are just bearing fruit now. I have a lot of stuff going on, because I know the more that you do, the more results you're going to get, the more experiences you're going to get, the more trends you're going to see, the more things are going to happen. The more you put out, the more you're going to get back. And low energy people don't put shit out. That's why they don't have strong relationships, because they don't put anything out. Like any of my ex-girlfriends will tell you, I love hard. And some of them, and one wrote me recently, and she just said, you kind of messed me up with some of the stuff you said, because I am not afraid to fail. Hey, you know, it may last a month, it may last forever. I don't know, but I am not afraid to fail. And when I got to the point, don't get it misunderstood or be reductive that I like failing, because when I fail, it sucks. I have a bad attitude, but I've learned to cope with it. I don't necessarily get over it with, because there's some things I failed in life and they still bug me, but I don't let that incapacitate me to the point I don't do shit. And that's one of the things that happens to a lot of people. They become incapacitated and they stop moving and they create even less energy, and their energy was already low, and they wonder why they're not attracting certain things into their life. When you become a beacon of activity, you will be amazed at what comes to your life. So that's the deal with paying it forward, helping out people. I've helped out a lot of people. I mean, seriously, I can say indirectly, that I've probably helped out more people than any of the new reseller folks here on YouTube, because they've only been here a few months. I've been here August 6th will be 4 years. And I've been helping people since day one. My first year, I gave so much content away that people were telling me, like, dude, I'm not buying your stuff because why am I even buy it when I can get it for free? Then on the other side of the coin, there were people who were never even interested in storage auctions who bought my books as a thank you. So for those folks, I appreciate it, because a lot of those folks are still with me to this day. And that's another thing. I may not have like a huge legion of people in the G-verse, but I got some tight ass dogs in the G-verse. I got people that will chew your fucking leg off if you fuck with me. That's how it is in the G-verse. So I would rather have a small, tight, engaged contingent than this massive following of flaky ass, phony, fucked up people. That's how I roll in the G-verse. And let's talk about decisions. If I didn't use the word fuck, I would have more viewers. If I was more friendly and I played nice with people I think are idiots, because there are YouTubers who engage with other folks in playing nice. And they know these folks are fucked up and idiots, but they stay there because they want to be seen as considerate and neutral. I'm not like that. And understand, I'm not insulting these people, because everyone has the choice to be who they are. What I'm saying is, I don't roll like that. If I think you're a fucked up, dumb ass asshat, I will say that. And I won't fuck with you because I think you're stupid. And, you know, there are people who were in the G-verse who got kicked out and they're whining like bitches. Glendon won't talk to me. What I do and what I say and what I do and don't say affects you to the point you make a video about me, you one weak ass bitch. Because, see, I don't make videos about particular people. I make videos about general situations when it gets to a point. Because, I mean, if you're crying because I won't talk to you, wow. Wow. Because none of you guys have gone through the shit that I've gone through here on YouTube. Not a one of you. And it just is endemic of how weak you are. And when I say weak, I say mentally weak. Because this is the thing. This is a long, long, long game. Life is long if you're fortunate. And this is temporary. And I'll say it before, I'll say it right now. A lot of the people you're seeing with their pom-poms and they're going rah, 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 this time next year, they'll be gone. Because many are already running up against information and content ceilings, and they're getting cheesy, or they're doing stuff, or they're starting bullshit to stay relevant because they have nothing else to give. And I predicted that, and it happened sooner than I thought. So there's no profit in bullshit. I mean, I get into tomfoolery and fuckery all the time because at times it's fun. It is. It is what it is. But if that's your main thing, sooner or later, and if you're not a comedian, the well's going to run dry. And then you're just going to lose interest and move on to the next thing. But in terms of paying it forward and all this other stuff, because I really have thought about this a lot in terms of living a life of intent and design. Because understand, if you understand universal law, you can have the life that you want. If you understand universal law. It has nothing to do with the economy. It has nothing to do who's in office. Because understand, there are several different economies. If you have a town of 1,000 people, and you have people farming, making clothes, that town of 1,000 people can be self-supported with no intervention from the outside other than maybe gas or something like that. They can create their own power plant, their own school system, just 1,000 people. Maybe even 500. They can do it. I'm not saying it's going to be the best thing in the world, but they can create their own economy. So if you own a business and you can get a customer base of maybe 10,000, you can become wealthy off of that. Not millions, not everybody in the world. Or if your products you sell are really high margin, maybe 1,000, and you can make a million a year. So that's where I'm going with the Sparta theme. 300 is just resounding in what I do, because I'm not looking into trying to take over the world. I am looking at trying to create my own world, control it, and bring people in and make them better. And I'm doing it my way. It may not, like, once again, understand, I'm not afraid to fail. So if it doesn't work out, okay, it didn't work out. That didn't work out. Well, we're going to try it this way. And that doesn't work out. We're going to try it this way, and we're going to try it this way until we fucking get it right. And that's how you become successful. Not sitting on your ass asking people to help you do shit that, if you thought about it, is kind of ridiculous. I'm going to tell you another story. There's this guy, his name is Matt Bass. And I am probably going to I can pull that off. If you're seeing it, it's Ravinia. This guy built this. At the time I was working at Rent a Crate, I called this guy 100 times for an appointment. 100 times. He finally granted me an appointment. He met me at $3 Cafe on Peachtree Road, and it's no longer there. They closed that one. And we sat down and we talked, and he was very nice to me, very kind. And really, I couldn't help this guy out business-wise. And he let me know that in a very firm, not even firm, he was just matter of fact. He was, like I said, really, really cool guy. And when I left that meeting, the thing that I got from that was I got in. I was thrilled that I got in. No, there was no deal happen, but it taught me that I could get in. I said, okay, we now know how to get in. Okay, we can get in. And I used that energy and effort to get into other places. And then when I get in, it's like, okay, now I got to do more background work and more just see if we, because the thing is, I did a lot of stupid stuff as a salesperson, because I was calling people I couldn't help and they couldn't help me. It was just like, hey, I'm getting in. Then, all right, I'm getting in now, I'm being effective. Then there's this reciprocal relationship. And it was just step by step, I made it work where I became a full salesperson. But I was thrilled that this guy who hung up on me, who returned my phone calls, I got in. And you have to look at yourself, your success incrementally. People are looking like, I have this dream, and then they accomplish this dream, and they're forgetting all these little steps in the middle. Those little steps in the middle are more important than the end goal. And I took that as a really pivotal lesson, because I started to be able to reach anybody I wanted to reach. After that, I don't care who it was. It's like, oh, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them. Because I was telling myself that. And understand, when I started cold calling people, I hated it. I bought books because I was so bad at it. And I hated it. Then it got to a point, and there was this guy by the name of Jeff Jones. And he was another, like, cold call shogun warrior. And we used to trade leads and stuff because, 8 o'clock at night, we were like, yeah, you calling? I'm calling. I mean, it was just, he showed up because I upped my energy, and he helped me, and he gave me great leads that I couldn't get, which helped me get to more people. So the only reason he talked to me, and he told me, so the only reason I talk to you is when I talk to you, you've called the same people I've called. You know their tendencies, you know how to get to them. He knew I was real. That's why he talked to me, and that's what I'm saying. I help people who are real. I am not like namby-pamby, we're the world. And just to let you know, products are probably going to go up again, because I am learning that I'm giving even more value than I thought. Because if I can give you something for $100, $200, $300 that can make you 10, 20 G's, you're getting a fucking awesome deal. You're getting a fucking awesome deal. And I'll say it again. If you sit back and watch every video on the channel and take notes and increase your attention span, you will make money. I guarantee it. Too many people have done it. I've got hundreds of letters attesting to that fact. And a lot of people come to YouTube and see one video, and then they want to watch the new content with little realization that there's really good content that's in the, call it the backlog. There's great content back there, but people are like, well, if it's not this year, there's some things that's timeless, there's some things that are not. And this is true of any channel that has a lot of videos. There are people who don't get their due on YouTube. There are people I watch, and I've learned so much, and some of their best videos only have 100 views, 200 views, 300 views. And their videos are freaking awesome, and they're full of content because people are looking for fancy, shiny things versus true, hard-earned content. And, I'm a nerd. I used to work in the lab. I'm a researcher. So I don't have to be excited up front. But as I crawl down the rabbit hole and I see the energy and the information is awesome, then I get excited on that end. And you have to train yourself to learn, to love learning, to learn looking up stuff, learn researching. Google in the search bar is your friend. It's not your enemy. And understand, Google can be challenging, but you need to do that stuff versus just sitting and waiting for someone to give you the spoon. Because, like I said it before, if you're looking for the spoon, you're never going to get the cream, baby. All right, this is Glendon, and I'll see you on the good side. All right. This is the offer. Best offer. What I'm going to do is membership to the Hustler Mindset Project right now for the year. You have to pay up front. And it gets all the new ebooks and everything that are coming. I'm going to peg it at $800. You have to go to storageauctionshogun.com. Send me, I want the year and all the ebooks and everything else, and I'll give you 4 personal consulting sessions for that $800, but you have to pay up front. That's the deal. And as sometimes, not always, because some things I'm going to leave just forever and ever, but this deal will expire 30 days from the day that this video is posted, just to let you know. And with that, I'll see you in the good side.